This is Mavericks All Access with Omaha Athletics, hosted by Anna Bellinghausen.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mavericks All Access. Anna Bellinghausen here, your host. And then we have a full house tonight with men's basketball. First up, Coach Crutchfield, and we got Tony Osburn, and then JJ White. Guys, how are we doing today?
Great to be here.
Well, you guys are off a nice road trip in Denver, ended up with a win there, a dominating one. Coach, can you first off take me through that win and what went into it?
Yeah, before we get started, let me say this. This is the hardest working lady in sports.
Oh, Crutch.
Man, I follow her on social media. She's everywhere. I don't know how she do it.
I have a clone, actually.
Oh, my goodness. That's even better. No, great game against Denver. Coming off the loss Thursday against ORU, and we get to Denver. We don't get much prep. You don't get much prep, 24 hours to prep, and against a really, really offensively explosive team like Denver. But those guys was motivated after the loss, and they came out and played our best game of the year.
Mm-hmm. And those 3 close losses, too, how much did that motivate this team from your guys' perspective?
Well, it keeps their head up to keep them believing that they're close, that they know that they're close, and you're in every ball game that you've lost in conference play. So, the motivation you don't lose that motivation just because you know you have a chance to come down to a one-possession ball game, and we can control some of those things, and they're continuing to get better.
Tony, starting with you and just how you talk about that motivation between those losses, very close games, and then having a dominating win at Denver.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important to take the next step. Last year, it was the first year of the rebuild, so maybe being close was a good sign. But it's the second year. It's time to start winning the close games, and I think we know that and understand that. So it's time to put it together and finally get over the hump and win a close game. And I think it's coming soon for sure. So
I just think trusting the process and our coaches and teammates, like when we all buy into what Coach Crutch and the coaches are talking about, then we just have successful games. So just buying in.
So there's a guy on that Denver team named Tommy Bruner. He just happens to be leading all scorers in the NCAA. He dropped 49 points the game before and then dropped 21 against you guys, which is like you usually don't celebrate a guy dropping 21 points on you, but he went 6 from 20 from the field. How'd you guys limit him?
Well, I tell you what, going up on the bus headed to the airport, I think we came up with a game plan to switch all 5 positions, and we just thought maybe we needed to give him a different look every time he had the ball in his hands. And it went from Tony guarding one possession or within the same possession to Markel to Nick Davis. And we switched all 5 positions, especially when ball screens was involved, because he's really good off ball screens. So we kept a bigger body in front of him and then really just wanted him to work for every shot that he got. And we made him work, and we hit him when he got to the paint, and Nick blocked a couple shots. So that game plan worked, and we took the other guys out. He wasn't able to dictate the pace or throw the ball out for catch and shoot threes.
And then, Tony, for you having 18 points, when you've had your shooting lows throughout the year too, how good did that feel to get going again?
Yeah, it feels good, especially just seeing the first couple go in. I mean, that's the big key, and hopefully can build off it. It's a step in the right direction, I think. So hopefully it carries to Thursday.
Yeah, and we should mention, too, the last time this team played Denver, you had a halftime lead and then ended up losing. JJ, how much did that factor into that motivation, too?
I just think, like, the last time we played them, I think we kind of dropped a couple of possessions, and we talk about not wasting possessions, and I thought that last game against Denver, we didn't waste any possessions at all. We were very sound in what we wanted to do.
Well, the Mavericks right now are in a tie for 3rd place in the Summit League. At one point, we're even leading the league. How do you assess where this team is right now, Coach?
Well, I still, as a coach, you feel like you gave a couple games away still. I feel like we should be 2 games ahead of where we are. But being 500 and being where we are based on what our conference is, I think this year the conference is really, really a lot of parity. So you never know what's going to happen. We just got to continue to get better, continue to work hard, continue to believe in what we're doing. And I think what we did against Denver can show that we can play a complete game and be explosive offensively and score in transition and be really, really sound defensively, too, to even slow down a top scorer like Tommy Bruner.
Tony, when things are working well for this team, what do you think that means to what Coach was just mentioning?
I mean, I think it means a lot, especially when we execute the game plan that they put in and the stuff we work on in practice. And like JJ said, a big goal of ours is to not waste possessions, and we've taken care of the ball really well this year. And I think in those games we do lose, we come out and waste possessions after maybe having a lead and kind of, think we have a lead to play with and come out and get a little sloppy. But, when things go well, we do take care of the ball and execute what we've worked on the whole week.
And a defensive scheme is a big part of that. Third best scoring defense in the Summit League. JJ, what kind of defensive identity would you say this team has?
I think we last year we kind of got away from it sometimes, but I feel like this year we're coming back into our own, and KB is just getting into us about just buying into the defensive end. And I think when we're switching 5, we're letting guards like Markel and letting him guard smaller guards. He's a long athlete. Let Nick Davis, they get to work way more than they usually get to when they're guarding big. So I think that's a good game plan that we had that game.
Coach, where do you challenge this team upcoming? What do you want them to improve on? What do you harp on them on?
Well, there's a whole list of a lot of things. One, I think continue to get better defensively, right? And after that, we still got to rebound. I don't think we're a great rebounding team right now. We can continue to get better. Then just sharing the ball and really, really trying to play at an up-tempo in transition to maximize our offensive production and not become a half-court team. Some games, the pace is what it is. We want to push the pace. We want to play faster, and if we can continue to do that and continue to buy in defensively, because every game plan changes. Every defensive scheme changes from game to game, and we are kind of what we are. But we do change a couple things, how we're guarding people, ball screens, coverage, and those kind of things. So if we can continue to lock in on the game plan, and Coach Brown kind of has our defense, he does a great job of coming up with a scheme, and unless I overrule him, and I don't do that much. But he does a great job. So, and those guys are locked in now. They're locked in. They understand, and I think just having a game like we just had against Denver helps a whole lot this time of the year. And
you're also doing it with one senior on this team, and Nick Davis, too. I think that gets overlooked sometimes with just how young this team is and how much potential there is. Tony, can you start with just the potential of this team?
I think the potential is big, but I think some people might not realize it because how many of us did play last year. We were kind of just thrown into the fire, and we had its woes for sure. But I think now it kind of shows the benefits with the experience and coming into those close games. It shows for that we played in those last year, but there's a whole lot of potential that we probably haven't even tapped into yet. But hopefully this gets it clicking at the right time. You don't want to be playing your best basketball in November. You want to be playing your best basketball in into February, beginning of March. So that's important.
And JJ, being a junior too, how have you taken on that leadership role?
Tony kind of tapped into it. It's just I came from junior college myself, Markel Sutton. We weren't really used to the D1 level, and last year we were thrown in the fire, and now I feel like we're just growing into our own. So it feels good.
Well, the one senior I mentioned, Nick Davis, I know because Tony's told me this before. You guys call him Grandpa on the team. Is this true?
Every once in a while he's got to, but every once in a while he also acts like he's about 11 or 12. So I think it kind of gets lost if you don't know. But yeah.
Coach, for you and when you're recruiting these guys and trying to build a roster, especially in the transfer portal era, what's different about it now when you're trying to get old, stay old sort of mindset in college basketball?
Well, you see it a lot because you play against so many older guys. Yeah. You're like, wow, the kid's 25, he's 23, Grant's 18. We're playing against older guys, and you really see it a lot. But I think if we can keep this group together here, this core group that we have that all played last year and they're playing now this year, if we can keep this group together to next year, then we become the older team. We get to add a couple pieces, of course, to replace Nick, but now we become the older team, and that's going to be a whole different feeling, a whole different look, and a whole different ball team.
Yeah, and you look at the landscape of college basketball, especially in the mid-major level, and a lot of guys leave their schools, right, and go to the Power 5 level. What makes you guys so passionate about building something here in Omaha?
Yeah, I think we say it all the time, that we've never been to an NCAA tournament, so you want to be a part of the something to do the first. And, if you go other places, you might chase the money, but you're going to be doing something that probably multiple people have done. I think it's special to us because, we're the first of Crutches, and, it kind of feels like it's a family atmosphere, and we're going to grow together. We took the blows together, but we're going to come into our own together too. So.
Yeah, I just think, I mean, for myself, I feel like I owe him. I mean, he brought me out of junior college. I didn't have any offers, so I just think sticking with this guy and what he believes in and what he stands for is like big for me and our team. Like, just trying to win. Nobody cares if you don't win, so that's what we're trying to do.
Coach, what does that mean to you to hear those guys say that?
Well, we got good kids in our program. We feel like we recruited good guys and good character kids that are competitors, that cares about winning. So they bought into the message that we've had is to build a program, something that we all can be proud of, and be the first team to go to an NCAA tournament. So they're all bought in. Now we just got to get it done.
Everyone sounds like Frankie Fiddler up here going to NCAA tournament. I mean, he called it before the season even started. I want to talk a little bit about him, too, third best scorer in the Summit League, a guy that's just done it so consistently. But how much does he open up for you guys on the offensive floor when so much attention goes to him?
Well, that is true because people do game plan for him and do a lot of things to try to take him away. And every night it's a different look. They might be trying to deny him the ball, or when he does catch it, they're spying him with someone else. So he getting a different look every night, and what it does, it helps these guys get open a lot. And Markel Sutton, who's been really, really good the last 5-6 games, he's really benefited from the way people are guarding Frankie. So I think it's going to benefit everybody eventually. And he's been great at sharing the basketball and picking and choosing his spots to score. But we want to go to him. We want to give him the ball in certain situations. We're moving him around so much now, from post up to getting them off ball screens to DHOs to catch and shoot threes in transition. So we got to be able to do that to kind of keep people honest. So he's been great for us now.
Yeah.
He's been unbelievable.
As much as Frankie likes to talk, anytime I do ask him about his performances, he always gives the love back to his teammates. So he's really humble in that perspective. But when you guys think about just this team, the energy that comes with it, is he a big factor in how much motivation you guys play with every day?
Yeah, absolutely. He's grown a lot as a leader from last year to this year. Like he said, he spaces the floor a lot. We get shots because of him. It gives JJ, he can get downhill. I get open shots because of it. But, it really starts with him, the growth he's made as a worker, as a leader. He's done a lot for this team and program. But he's an elite worker, and I think the best is yet to come for him. So.
Yeah, I agree. This dude's in the gym every night. He's locked in. I think just playing alongside him, you get to like play the right way because he's not going to take bad shots. He's not going to do nothing that's not in his game, and it just elevates our game. If he's playing well, we all feel like we got to help him out and play good. So, yeah.
I want to dive into your guys' personal stories, too, starting with you, JJ, from Lawrenceville, Georgia. Where is that? Tell us about where that is, because I have no idea.
It's in Gwinnett County. It's about 30, 45 minutes northeast of Atlanta. Okay. So I was born and raised there. And then in 9th grade, I moved to Norman, Oklahoma, and that's when I met this guy. And I went to school there for 4 years, and that was good. And I played with his sons. My big brother played with both of his sons. So I went to junior college after that, Colby Community College, West Kansas, middle of nowhere. So now I ended up here.
You ended up in Omaha, Nebraska is
yes.
what you did. Yeah. Coach, what's the story with his recruitment then, and how far you guys go back?
Well, go back to his 9th grade in Norman. I was coaching at OU, and he was the high school player with my youngest son. They played together, and my oldest one played with his brother, and we knew the families and all that. So he left to go to junior college. I knew that. I kept track of him. I was 100% sure he was going to get a Division I scholarship. He played on one of the best AAU teams in the country. They won a national championship. So I just thought maybe he's going to get a Division I scholarship. But he ended up going to junior college, and I got the job here. We needed a point guard, and he was available. And I called him one day and said, "Hey, man, you know what? We're looking for a point guard. You got any interest?" He said, "Coach, I'm on my way back to Georgia tomorrow. Can I stop in Omaha?" I was like, "Okay." And he stopped in. We gave him a grand tour, and I think he committed like 3 days later.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, that's definitely what happened. I came in my little Chevy Impala.
You drove?
I drove from West Kansas to Omaha, and I drove from Omaha back to Georgia 17 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you were committed right then and there.
Yeah, when I got the call, I told my dad, I said I'm coming. Like, no matter what he says, I'm coming.
He's like, you're not starting, nothing. I'm still there, coach.
Yeah, I was coming.
You got to walk on, all of it.
And then Tony, for you. So you're from Fairfax, Missouri.
Yep.
Fun fact, my old roommate is from Fairfax, Missouri. She didn't know who Drake was until she came to college when I told her who that was. So I really want to know what happens down in Fairfax.
Yeah, not a whole lot. A lot of farming, a lot of redneck stuff goes on in Fairfax. But my parents did a good job of getting me out of Fairfax. So I saw more things than just the redneck country life. But I'm grateful for both sides of it for sure.
Yeah, when did you first pick up basketball?
My dad, I remember we had a little mini hoop in my room when I was 3, and we would play on it, and he would buy me basketball cards and all types of sports cards all the time. So that's really, there's not much else to do. It was that, and we'd go check the cows together. But we were farming and playing sports. That was about all that was going on.
Well, now you got a city and a cornfield, so
exactly.
You're stepping up in line.
What do you do when you check cows?
Yeah, so you go out there, and he's got a very, we've got 100+ of them. He tries to sell them during the year, during basketball season, so he can come to games. And he was also my high school basketball coach, shocker, small town. But he tries to sell them during the winter. But we go out there and, you count the black ones and the red ones. You want to separate them. Mm-hmm. So he counts the big ones first, and then he'll count the calves. And, then you go up and feed them and round them up. And it's not good when you don't find one. So, you drive around the pasture for
You can lose them?
minutes.
Where do they
It's
go?
not a good sign. It's not a good sign. He gets in a little panic, like, don't tell anybody just in case one shows up on the road. And, we're not going to mention. Yeah. So that's how you check the cows.
Okay, one follow-up. Is cow tipping real?
Absolutely not.
Who started that rumor?
I'm not sure. Probably Back at the Barnyard. That movie started the rumor. But,
okay.
Yeah.
How about your recruiting journey, Coach? When did you find him?
Well, Tony was already committed and signed when I got the job.
Okay.
So I think I was on the job probably for a week, maybe less than that. I think maybe 3 or 4 days. And I jumped in the car and, asked him to meet his family and drove over to Mound City High School. And
So you've been down there?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Stopped in the, what's that, Come and Go or whatever that is about it?
Quick trip.
Quick trip. Oh, it's a quick trip.
Quick zone, actually.
Quick zone.
It's off,
Anybody heard of Quick Zone?
It's off,
Quick Zone, okay. But, stopped in there and then went over to the high school and met with his family and spent probably about 2 hours just meeting with them, kind of getting them to know me and get to know them. And the first thing I wanted to make sure they knew that I wanted him to be a part of our program. Yeah. So I had no doubts about it, that he was good enough. Was good enough to play for us, and we need a guy that can shoot the ball like he can shoot it and can score it, and he's tough. And any guy that's raised on a farm, you want him on your team.
Yeah. He knows how to handle the cows.
No doubt about it.
What was your first impression when Coach Crutch came?
I think it's kind of similar. It was, if he's in, I'm in. I wanted to be a part of the program, and that little stretch after Coach Hansen got let go, my mom was just in a panic, like, this is awful, we're going to have to go somewhere else. I was like, let's just calm down and wait. But, I was really excited to be a part of it. He's coached a lot of elite players. And then my guy, Coach Brown over here, he recruited me to North Dakota State. And I remember when Crutch got the job, he came and told me, he was like, somebody that really likes your game is going to be part of the staff. And he wouldn't tell me who yet, but, I was really hoping it was him. I had my fingers crossed. And then one day I got a call from him, and he said, we're teaming back up. And I was excited. It was the best of both worlds, really.
Just like the Avengers getting back together.
Exactly.
It's amazing how things work out sometimes.
Before we look ahead to the schedule, I want to talk about the rise of the Summit League, and also you got games on CBS. They had a big media day this year. It's kind of a conference that I feel like is just gaining popularity every single day. What have you noticed just from that level, being a mid-major and just being so involved with this conference?
Well, one, I think we have a great commissioner who sees the big picture from an exposure standpoint. He's doing a great job of trying to get more exposure for our league, mainly basketball, and we're done it. And the CBS deal is part of that. We're trying to enhance our conference tournament. I know that. So I think he's doing a great job. And the teams have to be good teams. We have to have competitive games. And I think he's done a great job of doing that. Now we just got to fix the officiating, but I think that'll work itself out too.
We're not trying to get fined up here.
No, I don't want to do that.
All right, well, let's look ahead at the schedule. St. Thomas at home Thursday, a team that's second place in the league, so right up there with you guys. And then 2 tough road tests, UND and then NDSU. What's going to be most important going forward?
Well, St. Thomas is a good team. They're a good team, sound team, older team. Got a bunch of older guys, 6-year, 5th-year guys that have been around for a long time. So they're a sound team. They don't do anything to beat themselves. They can shoot the basketball very well. They're a bunch of guys that are really, really versatile that can move different places on the floor. So it's going to be a different matchup for us, but I think we match up pretty well with this team. And we're at home, and I think these guys are motivated after what happened the other day. Then the fact that they swept us last year. So and we was in the ball game. We just wasn't good enough to finish. So hopefully they'll be motivated again like they were at Denver to go out and get a home win.
Yeah, Tony, starting with you, what's going to be most important in your eyes?
Like you said, they got a lot of grad students in the starting lineup, and they've played a lot of basketball. So playing a team like that, we really have to value every possession. And Parker Bajorklin's a really, really good player. He gave us fits in Omaha. I think he might have had 30 and 12 last year. So I think that's important, that matchup. But not only – I think something we struggled with is really trying to stop the guy and then letting everybody else beat us, like we said about Denver, and we kind of took that away. So not just focus on him, but really trying to sit down and get stops as a group and finish everything with the rebound. That's going to be the most important thing.
And JJ, for you?
Like they both said, I mean, trusting the game plan is what's going to win us games. I think sometimes the games that we lose, we kind of get away from our identity and what we do on defense and offense. But if we just play our game, play the right way, I think we'll be fine.
All right, well, to wrap things up, we've got some trivia.
Uh-oh.
And it's not just any old trivia, it's Nebraska trivia.
Oh.
And you guys aren't from here, but you have spent quite a bit of time in Omaha. So you might have the upper hand here, but there's whiteboards under your seats right now. So JJ, Tony, you guys get to be on a team.
Okay.
And then you got Crutch here on his own. We can hit the music too.
Oh. Little competition here.
Okay. This is really intense. Ooh. Are we ready?
Yes.
So you get multiple choice, A, B, C, and then you got to hold it up for the crowd so we know that you're not cheating or changing your answers, but you guys could be a team. First question. Which was invented in Nebraska? A, frozen TV dinners. B, Skippy peanut butter. C, the mason jar. You guys ready? Coach is writing all of them out. You can't remember them?
What was the first one again? Yeah,
frozen TV dinners.
When you get old, you got to do that.
It's the advantage we got over here. We got to take advantage of it. It's our game plan.
All right. No, he's erasing. There's an eraser on the back of the pen.
Okay. All right.
Flip them. Ooh, Coach is right. Point for Coach.
Oh.
Claps. Put a little tally on your board, too.
Okay.
All right, next one. I think these get harder as we go. So, which famous person was born in Nebraska? John Cena, JoJo Siwa, or Lady Gaga? Coach just thought I made up all these names, didn't you? Turn them. Oh, those are both correct. Woo, JoJo Siwa. If anyone has a little girl in here, you know who that is. Probably have like 4 or 5 bows laying around your house. All right, next one. Which is not a town in Nebraska? So I made one of these names up. Peru, Duke, Harvard. Which one's fake?
Stick with it.
Coach is correct.
I had B first.
They put Harvard. Harvard is a town of 939 in Nebraska.
I knew Peru. My mom went to Peru State, so I had that one. But
there you go.
You guys are losing. You know that.
You're losing to Crutch. Crutch has probably got the upper hand on this one. Which famous NBA player played in Omaha for the pro team that was here? Used to be a pro team. Was it Nate Archibald, Wilt Chamberlain, or Jerry West? Turn them. Both correct. Okay.
How'd you know that, JJ?
How did you know
Tony
that?
here.
Tiny Nate Archibald. Yep. All right, last one before we maybe have to go to the tiebreaker. Which former NFL quarterback played for the Omaha Nighthawks? My personal favorite. Is it Kurt Warner, Jeff Garcia, or Carson Palmer? I know Tom Chattel knows this one. It's Jeff Garcia, so nobody got it right. It was B. You guys don't know my guy Jeff Garcia?
Oh, I shouldn't know
No shade.
that.
I don't.
I'm just kidding. You don't need to know who that is. So are we tied up now?
Yeah.
We're just going to pretend.
Tiebreaker just for fun.
Yeah.
This one, the tiebreaker. So
Participation trophy.
no multiple choice. This is just whoever gets closer to this number. In the 1972-73 season, how many games, I can't tell you the name because I'm going to use this trivia question for the women's team, did that pro NBA team win in Omaha? So 1972-73, how many games did they win in the league total?
Talking about the Summer League?
No, NBA.
How many games season? Is it 82? 82
So
game season?
in 82, yes.
Okay.
It wasn't 82
Season.
back then.
Okay, well, I don't know. Somewhere around there.
Yeah, just put down the number.
Just a number.
Just put down the number. So that's
Let me
kind of
turn
close
my
to
screen
mine. That's
over
kind of
here.
close to mine. Yeah, it's cheating. That's why I always winning.
You got it? Oh. Okay, so we got 58 over here and 21. The answer's 36.
Oh, we were reaching.
Oh,
So Crutch got you guys. You guys are reaching. They were not that good.
exactly
Hence
right.
why they are not in Omaha or Kansas City anymore. I'm sure there's other reasons. Well, guys, thank you so much
Thank
for
you
joining.
for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Best of luck the rest of the year. Go finish out the second half well.
I won. I can hold it against you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you.
Yep.